Shalom, this is Mary Omni from the World Government House of King David, Holy Covenant Constitutional Enforcer. This is a Republic Notice. You recording? Yes, recording. The title of this Republic Notice is Number 1, Mkultra Deprogramming of Black Men versus Black Women. Now, if you're listening to my other video called Matriarchal versus Patriarchal and Nibiru, that would give you some insight that it's not the black male versus the black woman. It's the black male versus the woman seed. In other words, the black man can only fight himself and the Christ seed, because without the black woman, he is an incomplete man. I'm going to get more into detail on this, but what I want to say first is that I want us to come on terms that it's 2013 and it's August. President Obama is in there a second term, and Michelle Obama is in there. We have Eric Holder as the top lawman, attorney general in the country. We have Valerie Jarrett. We have Michelle Obama mother, Ms. Marion Robinson, which is the grandmother-in-chief. And we have Susan Rice, that is now in charge of national security. President Obama reached back and brought Susan Rice back in there. So I want to start on these grounds. There's an itching and a bitching to remove President Obama or impeach him from office. We have to keep our cohesiveness together on Trayvon Martin and what's going on with our black males being murdered. And we have to keep this intensity of cohesiveness together and begin to voice more, to begin to put more into the political scene of President Obama, Michelle Obama, Susan Rice, and Attorney General Eric Holder, because there have been some black people working behind the scenes to tell them to take a look at this infestation of us being locked up in these dungeons by vast numbers over minus charges, okay? So Eric Holder is starting to look at that. So it's important that we begin to reinforce and let the world know and let America know that we are behind Eric Holder and we are behind President Obama and we are behind Michelle Obama. No, you don't know whether President Obama's heart is in the right place or not, but you better know this: he will not be in that office without the power of God Almighty. See, that's between him and God Almighty where his heart lies, because only God Almighty can chastise him when he needs to be chastised. But what you better do is understand President Obama and Michelle Obama was put in our White House. We built with our hands and our 40 acres, because 1,600 square rooted is 40 acres. That's ours. That's ours. That's our lighthouse, our debt-free house. And we want them to stay there. We want them to stay there until the transition of the King David ruled government, everlasting king, comes. Even if he had to stay there a third term, we want him to stay there. Because guess what? We put him there, and we as constitutional supremacy citizens is the only one that can really remove them. And it's time that you listen to my videos and you understand and begin to understand constitutionality. Because we have to keep Constitution on our tongue like food. And now we got to play this constitutional card like we have never played it before. So, you know, the beginning of the Mkultra is us agreeing to terms that we must keep Eric Holder, Michelle Obama, and President Obama in top position. We must let these other ones know they have no constitutional authority, and they have no contract higher than our Constitution. And once we start moving into unity on that, as black men and black women, because our children and the later generations need us to do that, then our unity will begin to escalate and everything will begin to start revealing itself. As you know, I put out a decree, I have a decree, And there's going to be people who have that decree. You're going to be able to get that decree for more than one person and more than me, because they're going to be put in a position to either sell that decree, and they will even have the right to determine on who they should give distributorships to once they interview them and take an application on them. Now, it's a lot of information in that decree, and it will be going for $145. Now, if you was on or you subscribe to my YouTube channel and you feel as though you should have got in on it, you have to write me a letter and let me know. But nevertheless, this MK Ultra deprogramming starts with, don't take your eyes off the daggone prize. Do not take your eyes off the prize. The prize is that White House. The prize is that Attorney General office. The prize is Valerie Jarrett standing with President Obama. Prize is Susan Rice in charge of national security, because there's never been a constitutional citizen in charge of national security. There's never been a constitutional citizen attorney general, and there's never been a constitutional first lady in the White House. That means these are the non-consenting, debt-free people now in charge. The non-consenting, privileged, and immune government is underway in front of your eyes. So we need to stop petty bickering between each other. And we need to look and keep our eyes on the prize like our ancestors told us to. Keep your eyes on the prize. Uphold that prize. And pretty soon elections will be coming up with the Black Caucus. And you need to ask that Black Caucus, what have they done lately for the black infant or the black infant concerns? You need to be thinking in terms of replacing them, because you don't need a lot of money as much as you think. You need to think in terms of replacing them, because if they're unwilling to call themselves the Constitutional Caucus, then they want to act as Pharisees and gatekeepers. We need a Constitutional Caucus now. We need people to move in position of Constitutional Caucus. We need to understand what we can do a referendum, because we never consented to this form of government by majority rule and majority elect. We're the supreme minority of the republic, and therefore we can elect a referendum. We can petition to get people moved. We can write our names in. Start thinking in terms of the next election when the representatives are going to be elected. We need to think in terms of taking back and telling them no longer will we allow the hijacking of our Republican Party, because it's been non-consented since 1867, since it was founded by black men of non-consent supremacy contract, okay? It's time that we grow up and look past ourselves. Our relationship has to come in play of us pushing our holy covenant constitutionality, upholding what the foundation the Most High has placed there for us to begin to reinforce the kingdom of David moving in. So this is where I want to start with this first MK Ultra deprogramming. The eyes is on the prize, not the petty bickering between black men and black women. The eyes on the prize of the Constitution that holds the royal black infant, that holds the royal black infant and the blood of King Yahshua and the God Almighty Holy Covenant of the Promised Land deed. That's where we gotta start. And then we'll move into other things later. Meanwhile, you can listen to Matriarchal versus Patriarchal and Nibiru, and that'll give you some more insight. And that's on my YouTube channel also. This is Mary Omni from the House of King David. Shalom. This is Mary Omni from the House of King David. Shalom.